Hi, in this video I'll be smoking a full packer brisket. It's a 15 pounder that I got today from Costco. It's a USDA choice. It has really good marbling. I was looking at the prime. The one I found there, actually I liked this choice better than the prime. Just I noticed it has a thicker flat end and better marbling. Anyway, I'm having the SmokeFire heating up at 225. I'll be doing some good trimming on this brisket, trying to get to about 1/4 inch cap fat. I'll remove all the fat from the bottom and I'll be applying a very basic rub, equal portions the kosher salt and coarse freshly ground black pepper with half portion of garlic powder. I'll trim it, apply the rub I just mentioned, and get this one on the smoker. Okay, so I have finished trimming the brisket. It took me about 20 minutes. I took out at least, I'm thinking, at least 2 pounds out, maybe 2-3 pounds. So I started with 14-15 pounder. I took out at least 2-3 pounds out of it. I applied most of the dry rub on the bottom of it, and I did leave about 1/4 inch some of the cap, the fat cap, and I applied some of the rub, but most of it actually on the bottom side. Now I'm going to take this brisket, put it on the 225 SmokeFire. I'm going to put it in the middle of the bottom rack. I'm going to put the probe that we have in the thickest part of it, right in the middle of the point, and I'm going to go to bed. And we'll find out tomorrow morning where we start and behave accordingly. Okay, I'm outside now. It's 225 degrees, been stable for a while. I cannot see any visible flame. I'm gonna put the brisket in the middle. Given that I noticed this morning that most of the flame was going to the right side, I'm gonna put the point side to the right and the flat side to the left. Push it inside. It looks good here. I'm gonna attach the probe, and putting the probe is kind of tricky because they don't have any holes made in it for it. What they show in the owner's manual is to put the probe through the slit here between the body and the grill itself. I'm gonna stick it in the thickest part of it all the way in, and I'm gonna connect it into number 1. They're numbered here, as you can see. Okay, now it's seeing number 1 and it's reading 58 degrees or 57. Okay, it's going down. I'm gonna shut the grill. You can see that in the temperature of the meat is going down because it was in the fridge and it took me about, as I said, maybe 25 minutes trimming it. The temperature of the grill itself, it dropped from 225 to 145. I suspect it's starting to come back up, and the probe number 1, which is the only probe that came with it, is going down just because, again, it was in the fridge. So I'll leave it as is now, and when it goes back to 225. I'm gonna come back and see what's the temperature of the meat and the grill. By the way, I was able to connect my app to it, so I should be able to look at the probe and the grill temperature right from inside, no need to come out. I did not try to adjust the temperature from the app. I don't even know that it will work or not. I did not try it. I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna report on that tomorrow morning. The temperature of the meat itself is coming down. Again, it was in the fridge, so it was about 40 or so in the fridge, and the time it took me to trim it, maybe it came up a couple of degrees. The temperature of the grill is going up. Okay, so about 2-3 minutes have passed and the temperature of the grill went back up to 225, stable there. The temperature of the meat, as probe 1 is showing, is stable at 40. From now on it should start going up. It's about 11:15 p.m. the time here. I'm gonna go to bed and tomorrow morning we'll find out where we are. Okay, we're just about 10 minutes into the cook, or 15 minutes, and the temperature of the meat has already gone up to 42. You see here probe 1 and probe 2. Probe 1 is the one I showed you before, which came with the grill. However, I also have my own set of probes, a Therm Pro brand, and I was surprised that actually when I hooked up the Therm Pro probe into the Weber number 2, it read it perfectly. So hey, it works. So probe 2 right now is showing just the ambient temperature. Just to check on the temperature inside the grill, I'm gonna put the Therm Pro probe inside so that I can check what temperature it's reading. It's not touching the meat, but it's close to the meat, and I'm trying to see what's the temperature at this point. Okay, so this is the screen of my app, the Connect app, and although I'm setting the temperature, the target at 225, here it's showing very steady 224. It did not change at all. However, the probe number 1, which is the probe for the meat, is going up. Now it's 44. Notice probe number 2. This is the Therm Pro probe. It's moving all the way between 250 up to 263. And that's very interesting that now it's not right immediately next to the Weber probe. What this makes me think is that there is some programming that makes the Weber thermocoupler appear to be steady when it's not really steady. As you can see, probe number 2 is moving all the time. The highest I've seen it was 263, the lowest was 250, 251. So that's very interesting. Okay, so it is 6:30 in the morning, and I know you can see significant change from what happened from last night, 11:15. What happened is I started the brisket around 11:15 or so p.m. and I woke up around 1:30 or so. I was very excited, so I could not help but check my app on my cell phone, and the temperature, it shows that the temperature of the grill was 195. I watched for 5 minutes and it was coming down. So I went outside to the backyard and I watched. By that time the temperature was coming down really fast. It was in the lower 30s, the temperature outside. I shut down the grill. It took about 13-14 minutes for the shutdown cycle, then restarted it again, and obviously somehow the temperature's grill was not coming up. Given that it was too late at night or too early in the morning. I just thought, okay, this is not working. I'm gonna save the brisket. So I brought the brisket inside into my house, put it in the oven. The oven is at 225, has been there for the past 4 hours, and I only barely slept for 4 hours. I woke up and the temperature inside the brisket is now 158. I'm gonna wrap it in butcher paper and keep it in the oven, and I'll troubleshoot later in the day. I'll troubleshoot my grill, hopefully after I get some sleep if I can. Okay, so the brisket is on my counter. I'm ready to wrap it in butcher paper. I will wrap it and stick it back in the oven and put the probe, the temperature probe back in. Okay, the brisket is all wrapped up in butcher paper and it's back in the oven, and we'll see what we'll get. I'll keep it wrapped until I hit 205 internal temperature in the middle of the point, the thickest part of the brisket. Okay, it is actually around 7:30. My plan to get any additional sleep has failed. I'm too excited to figure out what went wrong with my grill and my first brisket cook on this SmokeFire. I reconnected the grill. I'm gonna try to start it and see what will happen. So the auger is turning. That's a good sign. It's not stuck. I don't see any pellets, hopefully, because I ran the shutdown cycle. Maybe it will take a while before pellets advance. I'm checking on the glow plug to see if it's gonna turn red. It is actually turning red, as you can see. So I don't know what's happening. I'll wait for a minute to see if I'm gonna get any pellets into the glowing glow plug. So I'm seeing a couple of pellets. Some pellets are coming. And the glow plug is ready. I don't understand why there hasn't been fire. I removed the heat diffuser and the heat shield so that I can take a look and see. It was very disappointing what happened last night, that my first cook had to go into the oven. I hope that the brisket will still have some good smoky flavor. It was smoked for 2 hours, and most of the smoke flavor comes into the first couple of hours anyway. So lots of wood pellets. So the glow plug is not the problem, the auger is not the problem, pellets are advancing. Could it be a blower issue? I don't know. It's raining here, that's why I have the light turned on in my back porch. Well, it's not really a porch, it's just a concrete pad with some roof. I can hear the fan, so it's not the fan. I really have no idea. The fan is running, the glow plug is on and the auger is on. Okay, so I'm 3-4 minutes into this. I can see the auger is full of pellets. It is rotating, no pluggage. The glow plug is not glowing and there are so many pellets inside. I don't understand. So the glow plug, is it supposed to be continuously glowing or what? I'm not sure. I guess I will have to call Weber about this and find out what's the problem. Okay, I did not call Weber yet, but it seems that the problem is definitely with the glow plug. It's supposed to be glowing at this point and it's not glowing. At least I have a specific problem now to call Weber with. I don't know if it's a programming issue because it was glowing red at the beginning, but then it went down. Okay, I'm gonna start the shutdown cycle now. I'm gonna record what's happening, so let's see what's happening with the shutdown cycle. It's advancing. The pellets, the auger is still going forward. I'm assuming it's kicking out the last pellets. It's still going. Okay, no problem so far. I thought it's supposed to go backwards at some point. This is besides the point, just I thought since I had the baffle and the heat diffuser removed, it's a good chance to watch what will happen. You can see so many pellets now at the bottom. I think it's supposed to burn it, but there is no glow plug, so there's no fire. Okay, now the pellets are starting to go backward. The auger is going backwards. Okay. You can see now all the pellets are sliding back. I guess that's the idea of the inclined auger. Everything is sliding back into the auger and into the hopper, which is a good thing. Okay, this is how it works. So the shutdown cycle is working properly. Okay, so even though I had to finish that brisket in the oven, it actually turned out to be really good. I was surprised by the result. Here, if you're looking at these brisket slices from the flat, you can see a very distinct and clear smoke ring. It tasted perfectly good. Even though it was on the smoker for only 2 hours and something, the wood flavor in it is unmistaken. And after that, on that Sunday, actually, after I finished cooking it, or while I was cooking it actually in the oven, I called Weber and they told me to send them the video I took that showed the glow plug not staying on. I sent it to them on Sunday. Today is Monday, and what they emailed me today is that they are reviewing the video with their engineering team and they'll get back to me with a solution. But they told me, don't worry, whatever the problem is, we'll find a solution. I really hope that we'll be able to find a solution for this problem, and I will report on it as soon as I hear something from them. Thank you for watching, and keep watching for more videos.